Okay, I'm gonna have to do that again because the speaker was in between. The speaker was in between my thighs. Hi everyone.
Hello.
Welcome back to the Miss channel. I know it's been a while. The last time I did a video was my third trimester and the twins are a whole 8 months old now. So I thought we should finally do a birth story. So as you guys know, I was pregnant with twins and I gave birth on the 3rd of September 2019. So it was fun. Yeah, well, I'm gonna start from the beginning. So what happened from the moment everything started, how I knew and whatever. It was around 1 a.m. Ne?
Yeah.
It was around 1 a.m. 1:50, 1:50, like 10 minutes to 2 in the morning. I woke up and I thought it was my usual just another bathroom break, and I went to the bathroom. I felt like I needed to poop.
Okay.
I think that's what it felt like. And when I got there, nothing happened. So I went back to bed. So to get into bed with my big belly was a whole it was like a whole mission, like it was an adventure on its own. So I was getting ready to get into bed. So as I sat down, I felt like a very weird quick pain. So it takes a while for me to it took a while for me to fall asleep after every bathroom break. So I usually had the laptop on my bedside table and I'd watch something. So I was getting ready. I think I was watching Supernatural. So I'm watching Supernatural, and
if you're hearing babies in the background, they're safe. There was someone.
Oh yes.
We're not bad parents. Just take it easy. You can just see in the comment.
You can just hear it, right?
Just take it easy. It's okay.
So I started watching Supernatural, and then I felt that pain again. It was like 5 minutes later. So when I checked the time, it's like 1:55. So it's like, okay. And I was like, okay, let me wait and feel it again and see if it was different. I honestly cannot explain it, but having had Braxton Hicks for like the whole third trimester, I knew that those were not Braxton Hicks. 5 minutes later, now it's a little bit more intense. It's like, whew, okay. So I wake him up. I'm like, babe, I think it's time. And you're like, okay, what do you want us to do? I'm like,
Hey man, I was asleep.
So I used to watch a lot of birth and birth vlogs a lot. So people just say wait an hour and see if it progresses, whatever. Well, my water had not broken, so obviously I'm waiting to see if the pain is real. It's not like false alarm, because I think about 2 weeks before that we had like a false labor thing. So I was like, okay, just go back to sleep, but I will wake you up if there is something. Straight after he went back to sleep, I felt like something trickling down there, and I jumped. I went to the bathroom. Luckily the bathroom, why are you laughing? Luckily the bathroom was right in front.
Jumped.
Yeah, well, I jumped. I know, with that big belly, I definitely jumped. I ran to the bathroom with that big belly, okay? So I got to the bathroom, and as I was there, and then I just felt like this weird thing come out, and that was my mucus plug.
Yeah.
So I got to the toilet, and then I felt this weird thing, and then I felt now the pain starts. But it wasn't like very, very painful. It was just like, okay. Like, okay, I can handle that. Like, you can still walk and do whatever. So I shout, waking him up like, make. Couldn't hear me. And yeah, so he finally did wake up. And I'm like, it's time.
Notice how it could have been it's time for you to make me food. It's time to watch.
It's 2 a.m. in the morning.
Could have been time for anything.
So yeah, I was just like, it's time. And yeah, he's like, okay, what do you want me to do? I'm like, okay, remember, there's a list on my bedside table. Make sure everything is in the car. Which is so weird.
Because now suddenly she's lost the ability to do all of this things.
No, I was still on the toilet.
I'm kidding, man.
I was still on the toilet because I still felt like I needed to poop. So I wanted to poop so much. I think I did end up pooping.
I don't know.
But so, a weird fact quickly is that on the 2nd, so the day before, I literally packed my hospital bags and I put the car seats into the car. Because I was so irritated. I was like, I've been telling Mick to do this and now I have to do it myself. I had a nesting thing that day because I cleaned the whole house. I did the laundry. I packed my hospital bags into the car.
Bed rest.
Yes, and I was on bed rest. And we took a walk, and I usually took like 2 kilometers, one round, which was about 2 kilometers.
Yeah.
And that day I was like, no, let's take 2 rounds. And I was walking fast and okay, it was very fast for me. Okay, thank you. So it was crazy. It's so crazy how all of that happened. And Mick had an interview that day.
Oh yes, this is true. I was actually off that day, so
yes, you were.
So weird how that.
It was so weird, and I remember the week before you were like, "Watch, these guys are gonna decide to be born on Tuesday, on the 3rd, when I have my interview." Oh, and we're trying to call our gynecologist, so we're trying to call.
Didn't pick up the first time, but I messaged him, and then he got back to me via WhatsApp. So.
No, we called again.
No, he never picked up.
No, we did. I spoke to him. Oh, no. After I was off the toilet and I was trying to get my clothes on, and then I tried to call him again and he finally answered.
Oh, okay, so he answered you then,
Yeah, and he's like, no, just go to the hospital and tell them that you might be. This is 3.
About 3:15.
This is 3.
Yeah,
so because we used to live in Joburg, our hospital and doctor is in Joburg. So now we're in Pretoria. So now we have to travel. So first things first, we get some fuel, and I was hungry. I remember I was hungry.
Yes.
I ate like 2 little yogurt things in the car, and I was there having contractions, and I always used to imagine how it's going to be
so dramatic. And
the drive there,
the drive
am I gonna be like, stop the car, stop the car, I need you to stop the car. But no, it wasn't. I was literally calm.
It was just like any other time when me and her were driving, except at like 3:30 in the morning on a Tuesday.
Yeah, and
to go meet our children.
Like it was so weird because it was just like, okay, I would spend like 30 seconds like, okay, I'm having a contraction. Then I'm trying to breathe. Okay, great.
But I mean, apart from that, it wasn't really the drive wasn't eventful.
No, it wasn't.
It was just nice because there was no traffic.
Yeah, we got there like 45 minutes later. We were already there.
30 minutes.
We get to the hospital and straight to the maternity ward. And the lady who checked me the last time when I had my false labor, she was there again, and she was like, "Oh, you're back." I'm like, "Yes, I think today
Time is for real.
is the day." And I was exactly 38 weeks, I think. No, I was 38 weeks and 3 days.
Yeah, pretty much exactly.
Yeah. 38 weeks
Well,
and
and what
3
was
days.
weird is that she had spoken to the gynae to say if nothing happens by this week, she wants to get induced
Yes.
the following Tuesday. And what was weird is that she had been booked for an induction that very day.
That Tuesday.
Which was so weird.
Which was a mistake because we're
Which
supposed
was a
to
mistake
be
the next
following
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, so we get there, she checks, and then she's like, "Oh, you're definitely in labor, 3 centimeters dilated." She's like, "Daddy, you need to go and
fill out the forms and etc. etc.
do the admission, what.
Yeah.
So
Medical
she's
aids
like,
and
"Okay,
all of those things.
you come with me, I'm gonna get your room." So we go to my room. I got a private room. That was fun.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
I always wanted a private room.
Makes you feel
So
like
yeah. So I got a private room, and Mick went to get our bags and everything. So he was still on some, "I'm not going to the interview." I'm like, "You're going to that interview." So he had to get dressed, and
yeah, so I had to quite an important interview. So I had to didn't actually even bath for the interview. Half cooked. And then driving all the way from 4 Ways to Centurion for the time of the interview. Was it 9 o'clock?
I think it was 9.
Yeah.
You left it around 7.
Yeah. And then I got there, and then I had to wait. Got in for the interview. This whole time in my head, I'm like, I cannot. I have to be there when kids are born. And then yeah, and it was a 3-hour long interview. Like when I got there, I was like, "What? I'm like, what is this?" I was like, "What is this?" And like other people there, but yeah, I got there, and I remember she sent me a message at about 11. I was like 2 hours into the interview.
Yeah.
Well, the interview was like a practical thing I had to do first. This was the first round of interviews.
Yeah.
And like 2 hours into this practical thing, she sends me a WhatsApp. She's like, "Yeah, I'm in the delivery room." That time I'm
panicking.
That time, the interview. Okay, the interview for the job, I was going to a different place, but similar thing to what I was doing at the time. So it was not so hard, but long. I do the thing at 10 to 11. I tell the lady I'm done. I'm like, "Do you need anything else?" She's like, "No, if you're done, you can go." Got on the highway, did my very best to maintain the speed limit. For the most part, I did. Only when overtaking, I did 130, but for the most part, I did 121, just to be on the safe side of things. Got there, and then when I get to the delivery room,
Anyway, let me tell you what happened.
Ooh, yeah, but
during.
Yeah, you can tell them during,
At the time that he was at the interview. So he left it around 7. The pains, I think I have a clip, so I'll try and insert the clip. This was just before you left.
Okay, what about that?
Now I feel fine.
What's up?
Now I'm fine. But when the contraction comes, then it's another thing. So, I mean, it was fine. I was busy bouncing on the ball. You know, they brought me some breakfast. I ate. I was so hungry. I ate.
Fun.
You know, bouncing on the ball,
Fun
chatting. Times. You know, I thought of taking a video. I don't know why I didn't take a video, but yeah. And the pains were not bad. They were not like. I could still talk. I could still walk. Yeah, I could still do everything. The only thing that I hated was that monitor thing that they would...
Oh yeah, for the heartbeat.
For the heartbeat.
Yeah. And they had to put 2 of them.
Oh, yeah.
So they had to find both the heartbeats and stuff. So.
Sometimes Nsuku's heartbeat was hard to find, and then sometimes Kurula's heartbeat was hard to find. So it was just terrible because they were only supposed to leave it on me for like at least like 10 minutes, and then let me go free and walk around and stuff. But I couldn't walk around because those things were on me, and we were struggling to find the other heartbeat.
And they couldn't keep it on long enough to make sure that everything is fine, so they would put it on and then it would seem everything is fine, and then they would lose it again and have to try and
have to try again
and stuff. So.
And that time I'm contracting, so the contractions, it's nothing like what people say they are, honestly. I mean, people are like, oh, it feels like intense period pains. No, it's nothing like period pains. I have really painful period pains. It used to. It's literally nothing like it. There is no way of explaining that pain. It's literally childbirth pain. It was so for me. It was a very, very, very.
Take 2. What's up now? What's up?
You need to go to the contraction thingy. I'm getting one now.
I'm a roast up, but not as bad as before we came. So kubula satanda.
I can't talk when I'm having a contraction.
Yeah, I just want.
Oh, I don't know. You expect me to speak to you normally while I'm in pain?
Ntumbuluko silis.
Oh, I'm having another one.
Why can't that happening too quick to each other?
I told you it's
one of those things. Tava sharp, mabili.
Are you still taking a video? So, at around 9 o'clock, they checked how dilated I was, and I was about 5 centimeters. That was the last time
You messaged me?
I messaged you.
That's when
Oh,
you
no. I was 5 centimeters. No, it was before that.
Check you.
So she checked first, and then I was 5 centimeters. And then she's like, okay, we're going to take you to the delivery room. Because for some reason they thought that this was going to go a lot quicker because twins and blah, blah, blah. So she's like, yeah, just bring outfits and nappies. I am in pain. Why didn't you tell me to do all these things? Because now the pain is becoming a little bit more intense. So it's getting very hard for me to just do normal things. I can still walk, I can still talk, but a little bit more intense. So I get the stuff, go to the delivery room, and they kept on asking me if I want the injection for the pain. I don't know what they call it, but there's an injection that they give you when you're doing like a natural birth thing, unmedicated. Yeah, it burns. So I was like, no, I don't want anything. I'm still okay. She was like, everyone was like, oh, you are quite strong, you know, for twins. 5 centimeters dilated, you haven't asked for any pain medication. But anyway, so I get to the delivery room. They want to check the heartbeats again. Oh, I hate those things. I hate those little monitors with my entire being. So they take those things out and they try and get the heartbeats. Nsoko is like moving around. He is going left, right, up, bottom. We just cannot find his heartbeat. And she's like, I need to track this heartbeat because if you want the pain medication, I need to know that the babies are fine. So we are not getting this heartbeat. We're not getting this heartbeat. And she was like, okay, maybe turn to the other side. Maybe, we can track him that way.
Mm-hmm.
So as I turn, oh Lord, I got some weird pain, and Nsoko literally like moved, and I was like, do not touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. And she's like, okay. She looked so scared. She was like, okay, I'm just going to leave you. Just rest. And yeah. I wanted the pain medication. And then the nurse called my gynecologist, like, okay, she wants the pain medication, but we cannot get the other baby's heartbeat. And then the doctor's like, no, it's fine. The last time we checked, the last time we went to the gynae for a checkup, both babies were head down. So fine. Awesomeness. I got the pain injection. I asked for it because now after that whole turn, like I was in a lot of pain.
They took the stirringness out of him.
The stirringness was out, all of it. Now I was like, yeah, this is labor. This is like 12 o'clock. So from the time I went into labor, from 2 in the morning up until 12, I was okay. And then when that happened, woo, so I asked for it. I got the pain medication, and I was able to sleep. But now my contractions were a lot closer together because I think I was about 6 centimeters dilated at that time. So they thought that by 12 I would have already given birth, but things were not moving as quickly as we thought. So I was very tired. So I was in and out of sleep.
This is around about the time I got back.
Yeah, when you got back, I was already
he was just groaning and then sort of in and out of sleep, and I actually even fell asleep as well.
But
in the delivery room.
Before that, let me tell you another story. So I am really scared of needles. I am scared to death. Well, not scared to death, but I am really scared of needles. So they were trying to put the IV drip thing in. And the reason why I do not donate blood is because they can never find my veins, and I end up getting hurt, and my veins kind of spasm and whatever they say it is. So they had to call a NICU nurse to come and find a vein, because these nurses, all the nurses, Nsoko is going crazy, because all these nurses could not find a vein. And they tried my wrist, both wrists. They tried here and this side. So when the NICU nurse came, she found a vein, I think like here, which was a very weird place. But yeah, the NICU nurse finally found it. And I mean, I still remember that pain every time they tried to put that IV in, and it was just not working. It was painful. I think it was probably a little bit more painful than the contractions themselves. It was seriously painful. Even the injection for the pain medication, it was painful. It burns. So anyway, I got it. You came back.
Yeah.
I was in and out of sleep. I could not talk. I did not say anything to you. And I think just as you got back, then our gynecologist came to check up on me.
Yeah, so I got in, and then he's like, oh, you're here. And then they checked, and then that's when they realized, look, you're okay. Still like 6 centimeters dilated. They're like, okay, we'll just keep checking on you.
Yes.
Just try to relax, and if there's anything, just let us know, whatever. And yeah, I mean, I was there. She was in and out of sleep. And then I was sitting there in the delivery room. I actually even fell asleep at some point.
So the pains that I was making from 12 o'clock up until the boys were born, which was at 3 o'clock, were literally like...
For 2 hours.
For 2 hours.
And I fell asleep.
Every time I had a contraction, that is the sound I made. And although the nurse was like, yeah, you need to breathe, like... I was like, I am not going to breathe because I cannot. That was what felt normal to me, and that is what my body needed to do to just feel okay. So that sound literally like was everything to me, because I just felt like it relieved so much pain. But yes, that was the sound I made.
And then
for 2 hours.
And then at about there was a time when the nurse left. And she came back, and then you were like, I feel like I need to use the bathroom.
So this was at about late 2.
Yeah, it was about 2:30.
Yeah.
She wanted to check how far I dilated you, but you're like, okay, but can I just go pee first? And then you got up, and then nothing happened. And then when you got back to the bed, she checked you. And you were 8 centimeters
dilated. Yeah, she was like, oh, you're 8 centimeters dilated.
And then she was like, we're almost there, guys. And then she was like, if you feel a need like you need to push, you need to tell me immediately. Oh, this one.
5 minutes later.
Not even 5 minutes. I just said, I need to push. What the F? And as she's saying that, our gynae comes in to check on us. And then he's like, he checks. He's like, It's like, it's time.
In my head, I'm like, for what?
I was like, thank God it's time, because So honestly, in all honesty, I think that my labor was from 12 until 3, because wow, Nsuku is going crazy.
It's playing there.
So from 12 to 3, I think that was my labor, because the rest of the time that was just child's play. So yeah, I wanted to pee, but nothing came out, and I guess that was part of the beginning of feeling like you need to push. So fine, doctor comes in, he's like, okay, it's time. All I remember was that everyone was just taking forever, and I was like, guys, I need to push. They're like, don't push. They're like, just breathe. I'm like, it is the weirdest thing ever, because you literally just want to push. Like, you kind of have no control on it. And I honestly cannot explain this feeling. I just can't. But okay, finally, there were those leg things.
Oh yeah, they couldn't find the other one.
They couldn't find the other one, so they're like, okay, we have to do this manually. So Mick is holding one leg, the nurse is holding the other leg, and then my gynecologist, I remember his face. He was like, okay, you're gonna need to push. And he's so calm that time. It's like, you're gonna need to push, and you need to push like you're taking a big poop, and you're gonna need to push as hard as you can.
Fun times.
Hey, there I was, pushing. So as I'm pushing, honestly, like I'm screaming. I'm like, ah! And then he's like, don't scream. You're going to finish your energy. Just breathe. You don't need to scream.
And that time they're telling me,
I wanted to literally
like,
strangle him. Like, do you know the pain that I am in? And you're telling me not to scream. Well, I didn't listen to him because I kept on screaming. So it was what I felt like I needed to do. So I did that.
Me that time, they're like, no, you can come and look. It's almost time. So I looked.
Oh yeah. So after like 2 pushes,
yeah, he was like, oh, the hair is here.
Like,
so he's like, do you wanna see? I'm like, yeah, sure, I wanna see. So I went and I had a look. I'm like, oh snap, that's like a whole human being. So that was quite interesting.
You are so brave, my love. You are so brave.
It's not, look, for me, guys, needles, things like that, I'm honestly not faced by things like that. So for me, I wanted to see the whole process. Was not nearly as dramatic as I thought I would have been. Really, it's like, okay, for me it was like, oh, okay, so this is how it happens.
Yeah.
That's literally all I took from it. So guys, I mean, if, like I said, I'm speaking for myself. For me, it did nothing. And I mean, ladies, again, I mean, when you're there,
I feel like you're concluding, and we're not even there yet. We're still pushing.
okay, cool.
This guy.
How's that?
I think I started pushing at exactly 3 o'clock,
Yeah.
and then at 8 minutes past.
No. 7 minutes past.
At 7 minutes past, Gorilla was born. And it wasn't like, okay, the head is out, shoulders, you need to push for the shoulders.
He just
No.
came out.
It was literally like,
I saw his head and I saw his face.
he
was
literally like flew out. They literally had to
like,
like
what?
catch him.
And he had this look on his face like, take me back.
So it was so weird because what he looked, he was like so grey, and then when he started crying, then all that color came out. It was just so beautiful, but I didn't cry.
Almost cried for a second, but
I was not. I was still in so much pain. I didn't
It
cry.
was number 2 to worry about.
I think I was more shocked than anything.
I was like,
That's what happened.
what? That's a dude. It's a whole human being. You have to look after this dude now.
Yeah.
Interesting. I remember just like a rush of emotion, and then sort of having to compose myself because baby number 2 had to come out, and they're like, no, he's fine.
Yeah.
And like I just saw him like peeing. I'm like, come on, dude, he just came out.
And he still pees
Like,
at
just
every
peeing.
nappy change.
And he, to this day,
This day.
this dude, man.
But anyway, so okay, fine. Now we're gearing up for baby number 2. So okay. The gynecologist is like, okay, I'm gonna check what's happening. So he had to put his hand in me down there. It was painful.
Not for the faint-hearted.
It was painful. I honestly cannot remember much of the pain, but
You've registered it.
I remember that it was
It's
really
registered in
painful.
there.
So he does that and he's like, okay, this one is coming out feet first, but don't worry, everything is okay. And we've asked him many times that, you know, what are the possibilities that this was going to happen, and he
did say that.
he prepared us for everything. And he did say if he does come out feet first, it's fine, we can do the delivery. So okay, Nsoko is coming out feet first, and you know, it was a whole thing where he had to tell me when to push and when to stop. It was very
It was
sensitive.
a little bit more delicate than Gorilla because he came out head first.
So okay, he saw everything. So what happened?
So as they're like, oh hey, comes, I saw 2 feet. I was like, oh my god, I'm like, this is happening. And then his torso started coming out in the one hand, and then his shoulder got a bit stuck. And then the doctor, I think he panicked a bit. The gynecologist, he had to just go in, and then he was like push. And as she was pushing, I think she ran out of steam a bit, and then he started a little bit of, because I heard him cry, go and then he started a little bit of liquid, and then she's like, no, keep pushing, and then he came out.
Yeah.
And now this kid, bruh, like this kid is like,
So now
not
he's
crying.
not crying, and they're like,
He's like lethargic.
rubbing
It's
him.
just, and then he's waking up and like being lethargic and waking
I
up,
think
and he's trying to cry as well.
I didn't panic was because I could see that he was still waking up. So for me there was hope. It's just that he was just struggling to breathe.
Yeah.
So then the OB is like, okay, call the pediatrician.
Yeah.
They're calling this pediatrician. I think they called him like 3 times and he was still not there.
But then the nurse kept on saying like, no, it's fine. And like, I mean,
Excuse me.
when he was there, when they gave him like the injection, I think the pain, because he cried, so, and then like sort of cleared his lungs a bit, and then the pediatrician came to just have a look at it. But it was a bit scary because literally,
Yeah.
I'm looking at this kid and I'm thinking, oh God, I did not come here to live with one child, so you need to sort this out. So they had to put him in an incubator.
And he was in an incubator
for like
for 2 hours.
An hour at the most.
So yeah, Nsuku was born at
15, 18,
yeah, 18 minutes
so
past
11
3.
minutes later.
So my babies are 11 minutes apart, and I mean, overall experience, like I said, my labor, I think it was from 12 till 3, and that was when I felt like most of the pain was happening. And I wouldn't say it was pain as in like pain, but it was more like pressure. It just felt like a lot of pressure. Every contraction felt like a lot of pressure, and I think that's why the sound I was making was not screaming, which is the sound you would make usually when you're in pain, but more like a groaning sound, like because
Watch too many horror movies.
So for me that was what was happening, and straight after that I could walk. I think I'll do a postpartum thing. I'll do a postpartum vlog so you guys can hear my experience and all of that. But yeah.
Overall, look, very interesting childbirth. I mean, different for everyone. I think for us we were very fortunate because for the most part it really went off without a hitch.
Yeah.
Which is really fortunate.
Well,
really
it did
cool.
because
Okay.
I had to give birth to the other one feet first.
Yeah, but I mean, apart from that and the incubator, pretty much, home and dry. But yeah, and for me, more than anything, it was just fascinating and interesting. The fainting, and I'm not that guy.
That is our birth story. It was all natural, no epidural, just that little injection that helped me sleep a bit between my contractions. So I would sleep for 1 minute, contract, sleep for 1 minute, contract, which was fun. And I mean that was it. There was no drama.
Interesting.
But yeah, guys, ask what you want to ask. I mean, I feel like I left a lot of the details out, but yeah, you guys get it. So subscribe, like, comment, do the work.